Hi everyone, it's Pam here. I'm just popping in to give you a little update on what's happening at Rights for Women. So regular listeners to the show will know that I'm currently taking a break, a much needed break from the podcast in terms of recording and editing. I have been doing lots of planning behind the scenes though, and I'm going to tell you in a minute what is going to be coming up in the next few months on Rights for Women. I've just had a fabulous chat with Karen Sepulveda, author of The Women's Circle, which I've been reading this week. And it's a beautiful book about a woman finding her place in the world after going through a great deal of trauma, connecting with other women, the power of female friendship. And it has a dual timeline happening and just some really lovely writing in there from Karen. So Karen is also a creativity I'm not going to say guru because she wouldn't like me to use that word, but she's all about creativity and loves to use meditation to help her prepare for her writing and to inspire her. And we talk about that in this Heart of Writing episode, which will be out the first week of August. So that's one to look out for. I have at the beginning of this month, I did intend to do a rewind episode each week. So there was something coming into your podcast feed. And I did do that for the first 2 weeks of the month. So at the beginning of the month, we had a rewind episode from Claire G. Coleman talking about her novel Terra Nullius and how you can write, by writing the past, you can make people think about the present and the future and hopefully help create some change. That was a NAIDOC Week special. Claire is a fabulous Indigenous spec-fic author, and that's one that has been put out again on the podcast, so that's available now if you haven't listened to that. The second rewind episode of the month was with Tess Woods. I had a lovely chat quite a while ago now with Tess, so that was on where she gets her inspiration from. It was at the time that her third book was coming out, and we talk about a lot of ideas there for how her writing is inspired, and that was called Light Bulb Moments. And then, of course, last week we had an episode from fabulous Christine Wells talking about her amazing book, The Sisters of the Resistance, and that was a new release feature author episode, which was intended originally to come in June, but for various reasons came out in July, and there's so much in there for both readers and writers. So if you haven't caught that one yet, highly recommend that you tune in to Christine Wells talking about Sisters of the Resistance and her process as well, her writing process and her path to publication, her agents, her US sales, lots of things going on in that interview. And of course, if you're a Patreon supporter, you would have received your bonus 4 curly questions that Christine was very gracious to answer for me for the Patreon supporters. So that is in your inbox if you haven't already sourced that. And also the Wisdom from the Convo Couch for June went out to all the family level Patreon supporters. So in terms of the rest of the month, I've actually decided to take a little bit more of a step back. I really need to focus on my writing for a little while. And when I say a little while, I'm just talking about the next couple of weeks. So I'm actually not going to be putting any rewind episodes out for the next 2 weeks, but hopefully that's going to be an opportunity for you to catch up on any of the episodes so far from Rights for Women, either for this year or from the backlist that you haven't yet listened to. There's so much writing inspiration in there. Honestly, I was just talking to Karen in the chat that I had with her today about how inspired I get by listening to and talking to the authors on the Convo Couch. And I hope that that's the same for you. That's certainly my intention. But I did think I'd take this little opportunity, since I'm on video on my computer. If you haven't ever checked out the Rights for Women website, I thought I might share that with you now. And now I've got to find it. And here we are. So this is the Rights for Women website. It's created by the fabulous Michelle Barraclough from Fresh Web Design. And Michelle was a guest on the podcast earlier this year. So definitely check that episode out if you're looking for a new website. But here's an example of what a beautiful job Michelle does. So if you come to the homepage, you can see that the feature author of the week is right there for you to access. There's a little bit about what Rights for Women is all about, a little bit about the host, recent episodes, and then a reference to earlier episodes last year when we were doing the book launch during lockdown, which we thought would not happen again, lockdown that is, but of course here we are. And then how to stay connected to the podcast by signing up for the newsletter, which hopefully everybody has done. And then what you can find on social media, on Instagram, which looks like it's a little bit out of date. I'll have to check up on that. And then continuing the tour of the website, you can find all the podcasts here on Rights for Women under podcasts. There's also references to Rights for Festivals, which Kel and I previously did, the book launch and the Feminist Writers Festival, but all the current Rights for Women episodes come out here as well as being on a podcast feed. So you can see here the recent episodes, Christine Wells, Claire Coleman, Tess Woods. And then all you have to do is scroll down just to see all the other episodes that you may have missed out on. So if you wanted to check up on whether or not you have listened to all the episodes, this is a great place to come. It gives you a little overview of what is in the episode. So there we have Kelly Rimmer, Jennifer Schooler, Carly Lane, Amal Awad, Lisa Hall Wilson, Meredith Jaffe. There's our chat with Michelle, Rachel, Tabitha, and On It Goes. Ali Sinclair, Sophie Hannah, and Vanessa McCausland, Deb Rodriguez, Zoe Lee, and then you can click for older episodes. So these are all the episodes that have come out this year. And then to access any of these online, all you need to do is just click. So I'll go up to the current one and show you. Click on Read More. The full page comes up for that episode. And then, of course, you just click to listen. So if you're someone who isn't really into podcasts, you don't have to listen via a podcast app. You can listen directly from the website. It's exactly the same. And then at the bottom, of course, there is always the show notes. And for the episodes that already have the transcripts up, they'll be up there and you can click to get to those and the YouTube format. That's another thing I'm doing during July is catching up on all the transcripts and YouTube episodes. So something else you might not know about Rights for Women is there is also a blog page and giveaways. So if you're an author and you're looking for ways to promote your book, you can email me at w4wpodcast@gmail.com and get a copy of the blog guidelines, and you can pop up a blog post, anything to do with your writing, your female protagonist. There's a list on there that I can send you. And then that goes up there for both you and me to promote then to your readers. And you might choose to actually do a giveaway in combination with that. So they're all up there. And the current giveaway that we have on the blog is with Sarah Hawthorne. She's written a post on writing a complex protagonist. She has a brand new novel, A Voice in the Night, and there's a copy up for grabs both there and on Instagram. So don't forget to have a look for those. There's an about page on Rights for Women, what we're all about here. And I say we because I consider Rights for Women to be a community. There is a Facebook community group which you can actually request to join. So send me a message on Facebook or an email if you'd like to be part of that, and I can send you an invitation. And you can also find information on the Patreon supporters program there, which gives you added benefits. And a big bonus for that will be that at the end of the year, the Patreon community level supporters will have be sent copies of all the transcripts in an ebook format. And if you're a family level supporter, which is a few dollars a month, you will be sent either a heart, craft or writing of craft of writing ebook based on the transcript. So there's plenty of stuff on there that you can access via the website, and you can contact me here, of course. So I just thought I would take that opportunity to share that with you. And I also wanted to let you know what is coming up on Rights for Women for the rest of the year. Not for the rest of the year, I'm not that organised, but definitely for the next couple of months. So as I mentioned, I have Karen Sepulveda talking about the Women's Circle, creativity and meditation for writers. That'll be a Heart of Writing episode the first week of August. This Saturday, I'm doing an interview with Alka Joshi, You may have seen Alka on Instagram. She has a couple of beautiful books out, The Henna Artist and The Secret Keeper of Jaipur. She's based in the US, so I'm really looking forward to talking to her this Saturday about her books, but also about branding and social media, because she's really fabulous on Instagram. If you haven't caught up with her, check her out on Instagram. I'm going to be talking to Sarah Winman, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be a craft episode because I just adore Sarah's writing. I'm going to be talking to Mary Lou Stevens. Shout out to Mary. She's a great supporter of the podcast and has a brand new book, her debut, coming out, The Last of the Apple Blossoms, very soon. I'm also going to be talking to my Inkwell buddy, Laura Boone, who has an ebook coming out very soon called, the title has lost me, but it's based on her column in Hearts Talk, which is about an inside guide to publishing. So it's basically the things that writers don't know that that publishers might forget or neglect to tell you. And Laura has a fabulous column in RWA's Hearts Talk each month, and she's collating all those into a book format, and that's going to be an absolutely fabulous resource for writers. I'm also going to have a craft episode coming up very soon with Emily Maguire, talking specifically about her book, Love Objects, and how she creates her characters. Emily does a brilliant job with characterization. And I have a list of a few other authors as well who I need to contact and see if I can get them onto the podcast. Don't forget that I'm always open to suggestions. If there's somebody that you would like to have on the podcast for either a craft, heart, or business of writing episode, someone that you think would really suit any of those topics, do let me know, and I'll certainly investigate that. If you're someone who is interested in coming onto the podcast, I do have limited spaces, and I am trying to support as many different types of authors as possible through the podcast. But if I can't fit you into the schedule, there is always the option to do a blog post and give away. And I'm always happy to give a shout out to your books on the podcast. So that's about it for now. As I said, I won't be putting out new episodes or rewind episodes until the 1st of August now. But I do hope you'll take this opportunity to check out the backlist, catch up on any episodes that you haven't missed. And I'm certainly going to take the opportunity to prepare some great interviews for you for the rest of the year and to do some writing, because that's what we're all about. So happy writing, everyone. If you're in lockdown, stay safe, stay sane. I know it's really difficult. We just did not expect to be here again so soon, I don't think, and so intensely. So shout out and big hugs to everyone, and stay safe and happy writing.